Broadcasting live on Spreaker.com, this is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe, the man who, like many college football players this past week, has been drafted to a new team. I'll be joining our sister show in Detroit, What's the Super Bowl, the Never Ever Been There quiz.
Oh.
And now, here's a man with a winning personality, your host at the BLC Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. It is great to be here for this week's edition of What's the Score. May is here. The NFL draft is over, and the Cleveland Browns have already managed to secure the first overall pick in the 2017 draft. It's a great day to be alive.
Before we welcome in our first contestant, we'd like to encourage all of you to go check out our social media pages. On Facebook, you can find us at What's the Score, and on Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz.
If you would like to play our games on air, why not email us at WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com or visit our social media pages. Click on the pinned post at the top of each page. Also, don't forget, we have a new website as well. You can go to it by going to WTSSportsQuiz.wix.com/quiz. That's WTSSportsQuiz.wix.com/quiz. Find out who tops our panelist leaderboard, upcoming shows, and even some past episodes as well.
If you ever miss a show, you can find it on Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app, iTunes, the College Tailgate, the Sports Quotient, Vavel USA, and on Stitcher. Also, if you think the show is worth at least $1, why not donate to our Patreon account? Just search What's the Score and donate today.
All right, it is time to meet our panelists. First up, he is our token Detroit Lions fan who's looking forward to year number 59 of a long rebuilding project. That's what the words are. It's Michael Cyr.
You guys like to bring the jokes when I come on.
We do.
Oh, the jokes. The jokes for Michael.
I know.
Next up, he's a sports broadcaster and an avid St. Louis Blues fan. And, of course, as we've heard out last week, the newest citizen of Perth, Australia. It's Grant Coppersmith.
Actually, if you're listening to the last episode, I am looking to sell my I Heart Perth coffee mug, seeing as I'm
after
staying
the
in
Blues
the
won.
They won. They made it to the second round. Currently playing, actually,
Yes,
right now,
they
if you're
are.
listening to it live. But, yeah, if you're interested in I Heart Perth Australia coffee mug, come to me.
I want that. And finally, he's a sports broadcaster and journalism product of the University of Whitewater. It is Daniel Schoettler.
You dub represent.
Welcome to the show, panel. It's another fun show in store for you today as we get to see if Michael, who is a 2-0 champion of the Name 5 panelists, can continue on. But as him being a Lions fan, they always start hot, and then it just kind of crashes towards the end. So we'll see if Michael, the pressure is on, sir. How do you feel?
You guys are really mean.
It's like Megatron's. It's like
just come on.
We've missed you. It's been a long
We've
time.
only made 3 jokes in the
It's
last
like-
3 minutes.
That's
It's
more
not
wins
that
than the Lions
much.
are going to get
We haven't
next
even
year.
gotten to game number 1 yet.
It's like Megatron and Barry Sanders' career combined.
Oh, I
Ouch.
like it. I like it.
Well, it's time to get this show on the road with our first contestant game. Joining us on the phone to play Quotable Context is Sid Powell. Welcome to the show, Sid.
Hey, Max. Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, Sid, you're going to be playing our first game called Quotable Context. Game Master Scheibe will read you 5 quotes from this week's news, and you must correctly identify the context of each quote. Answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, and you will win our prize, a What's the Score prize pack. If you get stuck on a question, you are allowed to ask one panelist for help, but only on one question, so make sure you choose wisely. Are you ready to play?
Absolutely.
All right, here's your first clue.
I slipped, I fell, I'm hurt, my team is awesome, the end.
That was what NBA superstar telling reporters this week that even though he's still hurt, his team will be just fine in the Western Conference playoffs.
That would be Stephen Curry.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. Curry got hurt, and immediately ESPN freaked out because they didn't have anything to talk about because he wasn't playing. Now, he's fine. The Warriors won their series against the Rockets, which wasn't that hard to do, and now they take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Curry will sit for game number 1 as well. All right, here is your next quote.
It took me 15 years to get back here. It's such a great feeling.
That was what former Major League Baseball home run slugger talking about his impromptu coaching experience in a recent San Diego Padres game.
I'm going to have to ask a panelist on that one.
All right, would you like to ask Grant, Daniel, or Michael?
We'll go with Grant.
Oh, Grant. All right, what can you do to help out Sid?
This player, back in the day, in the 1990s, this player Yes, is alleged to do steroids and also fought with Sammy Sosa for the season home run record.
Ah, all right. Does that help you out, Sid?
San Diego Padres.
Well, he coaches the Padres now, but he's not.
Oh.
He was, as Grant said, he was the guy that was challenging Sammy Sosa back in the day when they were doing. He didn't play for the same team he coaches.
But, okay. I don't want to say Mark McGuire, but that's all I can think of.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct, actually. Yes, Mark McGuire is the correct answer. McGuire was impromptu tossed into a game after the Padres manager got kicked out after, looking at the ref funny, basically. And he said he was excited to be back out on the field. All right, here's your next one.
I definitely won't retire. That's out of the question. I felt great this year.
That was what Dallas Mavericks star telling the world that there is no chance he retires from basketball after the season he had?
Dirk Nowitzki?
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. Dirk Nowitzki. I feel like Josh should have read that in a little bit different accent, but we'll give it to you. It's fine. But now, Dirk Nowitzki, the man he seems ageless. I think he kind of gets lost in the conversation with guys like, Tim Duncan, the guys that have been in the league for a long time. He's still a very good player, and we'll see what, the Mavericks can do with him next season. All right, here's your next question.
I can be a water boy and work my way into a scout team. It doesn't matter. I'll go play for free.
That was what former NFL player that was the number 1 overall draft pick for the Oakland Raiders who hasn't had a job since 2009 that really, really, really wants to play in the NFL again?
Oh, that would be Jamarcus Russell.
Yes, that is correct. Jamarcus Russell could throw 80 yards from his knees back in the day, and I don't think he can probably throw a hot ham across the living room now, but hey, it's all good. Yes, Grant.
A little interesting fact, actually, I don't know how you want to judge DeMarcus Russell's skills, but actually, I think it was last season or 2 seasons ago, he did do a workout with the Lions,
That's
and
right.
then the Lions were no longer interested
If the
in him
Lions
after that.
tell you no.
Didn't he play for like the Bears for a certain?
He was with the Raiders for a little while, and then I think was he with the Dolphins? I don't know. Nobody
that
really
does sound
knows.
familiar. That does sound
I think
familiar.
maybe that's what it was. All right, Sid, you have one more question. Let's see if we can go for perfect this week.
It shouldn't have to come with my job, and no, I'm not going to get used to it.
That was Jameel Hill taking a stand this week after what public service announcement video came out featuring 2 Chicago female sports writers.
You got me on that one.
Do I? Okay. Well, what it was basically is that it was men reading mean tweets to female sports reporters. So you didn't get that one correct. So Game Master Scheibe, how did Sid do on our quiz?
Sid got 4 out of 5 correct. He's a winner!
Hey, nicely done, Sid. Thank you so much for playing.
And because Grant gave a successful hint during that game, he gets an extra point.
Hey, nicely done. Starting off strong.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Absolutely.
Well, we're heading to our first break now, but when we come back, our panelists will have their first crack at showcasing their knowledge of this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, presented by Sports Radio America, live on Spreaker.com.
Everyone, this is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. On our break, we'd like to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Ticket Liquidator. Ticket Liquidator is one of the world's biggest online ticket marketplaces.
When you call Ticket Liquidator, you can find sold-out tickets to the biggest events on the planet. They offer a huge selection of tickets at 15% lower cost than their competitors. Their fantastic call center has live agents available 7 days a week. Call them today at 855-839-7889.
Ticket Liquidator is a multiple award-winning company, including Deloitte's Fast 500's fastest-growing company in Connecticut. Call today and find tickets to the next big game. Call 855-839-7889 to have access to over 4 million tickets to over 83,000 events worldwide. That number again is 855-839-7889. Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Did you know that you can listen to us on a lot of different platforms now? Yes, you can. Go and check us out on Spreaker.com. You can download our podcast on Stitcher and on the iTunes App Store. You can also find us on thesportsquotient.com and on sportsradioamerica.com as well. Just about anywhere that you can look for great radio programming, you can find What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Go and check us out today and tell your friends.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. This week, our panelists are Michael Cyr, Grant Coppersmith, and Daniel Schoettler. And now, here's your host at the BLC Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Time now to see what our panelists know about this past week's news. Michael, we'll start with you. Let the heavens rejoice. Everybody is excited. No, the Lions didn't do anything. Calm down. But ESPN did. They announced this week that what outspoken show host is finally going to be leaving the network?
Oh, that would be Skip Bayless.
Yes, that is correct. Skip Bayless. He will be joining Fox Sports. He is also the only person that I've ever seen on Twitter that doesn't follow a single person. He'd probably follow himself if he could. If you look at his Twitter account, it's like 0, and then he's got I think 1.2 million followers.
Also, mentioning his Twitter account, I found an article that if you have the time, just Google it, but the top 10 Skip Bayless quotes of his...
Yes.
Just
distinguished
outlandish
career.
predictions that just make you chuckle with how these players' careers have now turned out.
I mean,
and
he's
what
going
he
to Fox
predicted them to
Sports.
be.
What do you want from him?
And I think something that he just tweeted yesterday was that the Giants' second-round pick, Sterling Shepard, or whatever his name is, he said that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to realize that he's not as good as the second-round pick that they just brought in.
I don't know about that
Can he
one.
make one-handed catches with his fingertips?
Probably not.
All right, the next one's for you, Daniel. ESPN announced that what notable play-by-play broadcaster is leaving their network to join NBC?
Mike Tirico.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. Mike Tirico has been at ESPN since 1991.
Now who's going to be with John Gruden?
Some poor guy. I don't know. I mean, Tirico doesn't get to talk anyway when Gruden's on the air. I mean, really, though. I mean, he's been around, though. He did Monday Night Football since 2006. And we'll see where he fits into the NBC lineup,
Didn't
though,
he start
because...
with Kornheiser?
I think he did, yeah. Tony Kornheiser back in the day. I mean, he's not going to take the Sunday Night Football thing away from Al Michaels. I think Al Michaels is going to have to
But
die
he could
first before
eventually
that.
once
At
Al
some
Michaels
point.
retires.
Al Michaels ageless like Bob Uecker, honestly. So we'll see what happens with
Al
that.
Michaels is the Brett Favre of...
He is. He believes in miracles.
Great times.
Sorry, anybody. Grant, question for you. You know what we haven't talked about in a really long time, Grant?
What have we not talked about?
Something that even the man that I'm sure
I think
feel,
I know where this
you
is
probably
I
do.
think I know where this is
You probably
going.
do. Yes. Something took place this week that we assume Roger Goodell probably paid off a court to make happen again. What is finally back again?
Deflate game.
Yes, it is.
To be fair, since all these retiring or these broadcasters or personalities moving, I thought I was going to get some Michael Strahan question.
Michael Strahan?
I thought that was going to be
Kelly
like
Ripa,
a nice smooth
Michael Strahan. I heard she burned him good when she came back on the air. But
Did
it's like
she?
a
Is it
past
Kelly
marriage or
Ripa
something.
leaving that live with...
I don't know.
I don't even.
I thought Strahan.
I don't know,
was
but
listening.
I'm
Strahan
so
is leaving. Yeah,
Strahan's
Strahan is
leaving.
leaving
Yeah, he's
live
going to
with
Good
Michael,
Morning America.
with Kelly and Michael.
But I'm so glad Deflategate's back, guys.
Why are you
I love
glad?
it. I
the
love
only
people
person.
just getting angry and think, oh, it's useless. I love it. I love watching people.
Everybody's
get
been
angry.
putting memes on Facebook too. It's like it's so nice of Tom Brady to wear the number of games he's going to play on his jersey.
or that the Patriots pick up an undrafted Dom Grady.
I saw that one too. My favorite one that I've seen though too is that when the Patriots announced their first pick at the draft in the second round, they had Kevin Falk announce it, a former player. He walked out onto the stage in a Tom Brady jersey and said the New England Patriots and Tom Brady select whoever they ended up drafting, which we don't care about. Anyway,
I like how you were talking about Deflategate.
They moved from Deflategate, got
somehow
to the draft.
Kathy
Kelly Ripa, whoever she
I was
is.
thinking
Kathy
the other
Lee
one.
Griffin. She's on with Hoda and Kathy now, I think. I watch that show every once in a while. Anyway. that's
Well,
irrelevant.
we're heading to a break. But when we
ladies.
come back, our second contestants will play another new game. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz, live on Spreaker.com. What's the Score would like to take this time to thank one of our partners, Vavel USA, the international online sports newspaper, for their support. Head over to vavel.com/en-us today as they provide professional reporting on all major sports in the USA. Follow them on Twitter at @Vavel_USA and go like their Facebook page for prime access to the ultimate source for sports coverage on the web. We here at What's the Score are proud to partner with a terrific organization like Vavel USA.
Hey guys, this is Baxter, the host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a minute to remind all of you to go and check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook at What's the Score, the sports news quiz, on Twitter at WTS Sports Quiz, and on Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz as well. And if you enjoy the whole hashtag game, like some of us like to do, hashtag goals, hashtag believer, hashtag, I don't know, I'm running out of hashtags. Anyway, use the hashtag What's the Score on Twitter and Instagram and check out some of the other exclusive content that we do as well. Connecting all of us one smartphone at a time.
Hello all and welcome back to the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is What's the Score, the sports news quiz presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. We have a dynamite panel this week, Grant Coppersmith, Daniel Schoettler, and Michael Cyr, and they'll have the opportunity to show their prowess in just a little bit. Before that, though, here's the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn!
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Coming up, we put our panelists to the test in our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. If you'd like to play our games on the air, why not shoot us an email at wtsportsquiz@gmail.com or click on the links on to our contestant form on our Facebook and Twitter and website pages as well.
Playing our next game is my father, Jeff Scheibe.
Hey,
welcome to the
Jeff.
show, Jeff.
Welcome back, sir. Good to see you.
You don't know how happy I am you pronounced that last name right. It's been pronounced so many different ways.
Oh, I'm glad that I could help. I'm really glad I could help.
It's such a weird coincidence. You guys share the same last name.
I know, right?
You guys know each other? Tax time. Then you do. Like fine. All right, Jeff. Well, as you know, the NFL draft took place this week, and it always provides teams with a chance to bring in some new players to shake up the roster or potentially fill a gaping hole or 7 that the Cleveland Browns might have. Over the years, though, there have been players that have been drafted first overall that always have a little extra pressure added onto them.
In this game, we'll give you 5 batches of 3 NFL players. 2 of them have been drafted number 1 overall, while 1 of them has not. Correctly tell us which one of the 3 was not at the top of the draft class at least 3 times, and you'll win a What's the Score prize. Are you ready to play?
Sure.
Man, that's all we need. All right.
That's encouraging.
Here's your first question. Which of these players was not drafted first overall? Was it A, Eli Manning, B, George Rogers, or C, Randy Moss?
C.
Yes, that is correct. Randy Moss. Randy Moss, even though he was a fairly high draft pick, he was not drafted first overall. Here's your next one.
Which of these players was not drafted first overall? Is it A, Cam Newton, B, Bo Jackson, or C, Robert Griffin III?
2 quarterbacks and a running back.
I'm going to ask Daniel for some
I'm going to ask
help.
Daniel. All right, Daniel, how can you help out
All
Jeff?
right. He was drafted as a Redskin, and he recently signed with the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, I'll go with the third choice.
Yes, Robert Griffin III is correct. All right, 2 for 2, Jeff. I like your odds. Here we go. Here's the next one. Which of these has not been drafted? Knock on wood. Has it been A, Jeff George, B, Orlando Pace, or C, Von Miller?
B.
B, Orlando Pace?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. No. It was
See, you did it to me.
C, Von Miller. C, Von Miller. All right, we got 2 more chances. Plenty of time. Here we go.
Which of these players was not drafted first overall? Was it A, Ernie Davis, B, Ryan Leaf, or Ed Too Tall Jones?
Jones.
Too Tall Jones, number C, letter C. No, that is incorrect. It was Ryan Leaf.
If you're doing Roman numerals, you'd be right.
Roman numeral 3.
That'd be a century.
That would be
My
that
homeboy
is
Ryan Leaf.
What a guy,
What
Ryan.
a
All right,
guy.
Jeff. Last chance. I believe in you. I really do. Here we go. Last one. Who was not drafted first overall? Was it A, Keyshawn Johnson, B, Adrian Peterson, or C, John Elway?
I'll go with Adrian Peterson.
Yes, that is correct.
All day, Adrian Peterson.
Game Master Scheibe, how did Mr. Jeff Scheibe do?
He got 3 out of 5 correct. He's a winner!
Yay!
3rd time's the charm.
Well done, Jeff. Thank you so much for playing. All right, panel, time now for you for some more questions.
I will note that Daniel gets an extra point because
Yes,
you gave
you
a
do.
Successful
Yes.
hint in that game.
Congratulations, Daniel. Nicely done. Nicely
I thought
done.
it was the easiest hint to give. So.
That's what I would have done, too. Been like he was a bust. He played for the Redskins. He now plays for the Browns.
I wouldn't say a bust.
I mean, it depends.
He's
He
the
had one.
umpteenth-
He had one successful season.
So did
then
Tim Tebow.
He's the umpteenth.
I'm a firm believer in Tim Tebow. I think that he was given an unfair cut in the last year, and I think he should still be at least a second-string quarterback in the NFL. I think he's better than some
I
second
would
or
agree.
third-string
No, I
quarterbacks.
agree with you on that one.
Fun fact: I waited 2 hours in Kenosha for Tim Tebow.
Did you?
At Jockey.
I've wanted to meet him. when he did his little jockey ad campaign there. Adorable. Grant, question for you here about this past week's news. There's a new craze sweeping the streets of Taiwan that you can now find what type of racing in Taiwan? Excuse me.
Can I get a hint on
You
this one?
can. Let's just say you and your coworkers are just really bored in the office, and you're going to say, let's see what we can do.
Like office chair racing?
Yes, office chair racing. The brilliantly silly sport first originated in Japan back about 7 years ago. Then the Germans decided to host the office chair racing championships. Of course, they probably had free beer, so that's how everybody came out for it.
Hey, is this Wisconsin or what?
Yeah, right now. But the Taiwanese now are all over the. They said it's a lot harder than it looks.
All right, imagine if one foul move and you're biffing into the pavement.
Yeah, no, it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, try propelling yourself. You know, you got to use your feet, and if you trip over your feet with that chair, you're
done.
done.
All over the pavement.
Or you just
gone.
Or you just break the chair in general.
Exactly.
Or yourself
Little details.
through the
details.
cubicle wall, and yeah. All right, Michael. The next one's for you. The London Marathon had an unexpected participant this year. However, this runner was not at the race. Where did he complete the race from?
I'm going to need a hint for that one.
He took one small step for man, one giant.
The moon? That doesn't make any sense. Why would
Kind
I
of.
say that?
Why would he be on the moon though? Where would you have to be to get to the moon?
NASA? I give up.
You're so close.
He was in space. He was in space. Now, so you don't get the point on that one.
thought-
Come on, Michael. He was in space. The British astronaut Tim Peake strapped himself onto the Tranquility module treadmill on Sunday and ran the 26.2 mile London Marathon. And the last time an astronaut ran a marathon in space was actually back in 2007 when a guy named Sonny Williams ran the Boston Marathon on the space module thingy that they've got up there.
Someone thought to do it before?
You're in space. What are you going to do? There's not so much you can really do up there after a while.
Well, I'd wonder if that would be harder or easier.
Well,
to
you're
do.
strapped in, so I don't know how much of how much of the gravity pull you feel.
Right, or how much harder that would actually be on your legs trying to keep them.
That's true.
You'd maybe have to have stronger legs. I don't know. It'd be interesting to look up.
I would be curious to see. I don't think he beat any the top people at all, but I mean, still running a 26.2 mile marathon
In space, I couldn't do it. I can't
YOLO,
do it.
right?
I can't
mean,
do
at
it
that
on
point,
Earth.
Why not? Why not? All right, Daniel, as you know, 2 years ago, Johnny Manziel was the hottest ticket in town at the NFL draft. Now you fast forward now, Manziel is unemployed and decided to do what during the opening round of this year's NFL draft?
He watched it from a bar.
Yes, that is correct.
He gave me the easiest one.
You'd be surprised. There's other questions coming up. Yes, he was actually on his way to go to a Justin Bieber concert. He even had a little VIP sticker attached as
So
well.
cute.
He was very excied to go. And
Oh my God, Justin Bieber!
probably get to meet him and hung out. Maybe he fluted on a swan with him after
Maybe
the game.
maybe he flew with a monkey.
That is also very true.
Well, it's time for another break, but don't worry. We'll be right back, and our panelists will have another chance to answer some questions about this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com.
Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. If you enjoy listening to What's the Score, why not go and donate to our Patreon account today? That's patreon.com. Search for What's the Score and donate today. You can get awesome t-shirts, before the show shout-outs, and so much more. Tell your friends about us. Hey, if you donate, we'd be happy to give you a shout-out and even have you come on the show and play a game or two with us as well. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a moment to let all of you know that if you enjoy listening to What's the Score, you can find us on thesportsquotient.com. Go and check out thesportsquotient.com. Check out and see how you stack up against the rest of the sports world by taking one of their S quizzes. You can also check out the Fantasy Guru section, and for those of you stat geeks out there, they've got plenty of things for you. Plus, check out all the other great content that they have on their podcast section, like this very show right here, What's the Score?
Two Up Front is the official soccer show of Sports Radio America. Join your hosts Baxter Colburn and Simon Provan on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern as they cover all things American soccer, with weekly guests from the pro, college, and youth ranks, and digging deep into the American professional leagues. Two Up Front gives you the insight you're looking for. Airing Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern on Sports Radio America, Two Up Front, the world's game from an American perspective.
Welcome back to What's the Score, the sports news quiz presented by Sports Radio America, and thanks for listening in. We're broadcasting live from the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. We're playing this week with Daniel Schoettler, Michael Cyr, and Grant Coppersmith. And here, once again, is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn!
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, everybody. As we continue on with our show, we want to remind all of you that you can find the show on demand on Spreaker, iTunes, and on Stitcher. Time now for our panelists, that's who you guys are, to do your last slate of questions from this last week's news.
Daniel, the first one's for you. A fan of the Philadelphia Eagles drew a lot of attention to himself after he had what tattooed on his calf?
Can I get a hint?
Do you want the hint, Josh, or do you want me to do it?
You're creative. You can do it. You can do it.
Fine. Let's just say he was very ambitious about something he hopes the team does in a couple years.
Wins a Super Bowl?
Yes, that is correct. He got a 2019 Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion tattoo on his calf.
Why?
Because
why do people do this?
Because
do they think it's going to bring good luck to their
one person
team?
is going to finally get it right, and
You
everyone's going to lose their
remember
mind.
the person who put Kentucky winning the national
I did
championship?
see that. Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna go get Detroit Lions 2050 champions tattooed on my leg.
I should just randomly get a tattoo that says UW Whitewater National Champions every single year.
You should. You just all the way down. Start it up here on your, and just work it down.
It'll be
your
like the
waist.
Cleveland Browns.
Wait,
jersey.
didn't they not even make it to the championship game last year?
Who's that?
This
Kentucky?
past year?
Yeah,
we
didn't
we
they- I
made the
don't think they-
semifinals.
I don't think they even made it.
I remember when a Final Four
But,
thing actually mattered.
playoffs?
Playoffs.
But we've won 6 national championships the last decade. So
That's
Well, you
true.
lost your
Football.
quarterback, so
All right, Grant. You may think that things could not get much worse for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, it
you would like to
could.
think. Well, one fan has decided to go and start something in the honor of all the players that have been drafted to the team this year. Do you know what that thing is that person has started?
I saw this. Was it a GoFundMe?
Yes,
account?
yes, it is. Here is a little snippet from it. By donating today, we can send flowers and possibly provide a therapy session for the player who is inevitably going to be the shell of his former self by the end of the night. At the very least, it will be used as a bar tab at a Browns backers bar to quell the tears of grown men and women on a Sunday afternoon. Last time I checked, it had 4 people that have donated to it. There was only about $20 donated so far. But
I just loved all of the memes that they've had. Like after the first round pick was picked, it was announcing his retirement. And then if anybody knows the Key and Peele guys,
Yep.
They did a special the day of draft day, and during their fake interview of one of their players they made up from one of their popular videos, he was the Rams traded for the Browns for the top pick, and he just freaked out in the middle of the interview. So if you haven't seen that, go look it up. But there was some great.
There was a
memes.
good one
There
too
was
that
some
I
great
saw.
memes.
I think there was one. Whoever the guy was that they drafted in the first round, he's like hugging his parents, and like his face
His
is like
face,
kind of
yeah.
blank, like the face you make when you're drafted by the Browns, or when you realize your career is over. I was like,
I can't wait until somebody photoshops Eli Manning's face from the Super Bowl onto his face,
Yeah,
and that's what it's going to be. That's
or
your reaction.
the
crying
crying Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
that
that's
one's overused.
That's
I feel
probably
like.
But it's like a classic though. It's like you have to do it.
I mean, if you like that. Sort
All
of
right,
thing.
Michael. The next one's for you. Steph Curry is everywhere. Brita, Under Armour, no matter where you look, his face is nothing but good publicity. Until now. What is Curry's face showing up on now?
I need a hint for that one.
Oh God.
There's no good hint for this, is there?
Should have thought ahead.
Yeah, you really should have. You'd need a spoon for this hint. That's about all I can really tell you. A spoon and a lighter. You're not much of a druggie, I'm sure.
Not my thing. No.
No. Start naming off illicit drugs. You'll probably
Marijuana, cocaine, heroin.
Yes.
There you go. Started off with marijuana.
Maybe I
I
am
was
a
getting
druggie.
It is. He is now appearing on heroin packets.
Oh, that's right. I did hear
yes.
about that.
Yeah. Some Doug Driller.
what?
Some Doug. Wow.
Doug Driller.
Drug wheelers of Philadelphia. They took the time to put Steph Curry's face on heroin baggies that are currently being sold right now, although they did finally put a stop to it and the police got in charge of it. But yes, a nice smiling Steph Curry face. Why not? You can only brand things with so long. Would you really think if you got a little thing with Steph Curry's face on it, you'd be like, oh, look, heroin. I wouldn't think of that.
That sounds like the worst thing that I've ever heard. Like, did it? I'm assuming he didn't sign off on that. Did
Obviously
he?
not.
Okay.
No,
He totally did. He totally did.
Under Armour only gave him $20 million. He wanted $30 million.
Well, I'm injured. I got to get the money from somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
right. Heroin. That's a dying market.
The Mexican drug lords were offering me $50 million. So
Yeah.
it's going that way.
The cartel. What are you going to do? He comes back with a nice big tattoo on it. I love it.
Well, folks, it's time for me to break up the fun once again, but when we come back, our next contestant will play another new game. You're listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz presented by Sports Radio America, live on Spreaker.com.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter. Just want to take a minute to thank one of our sponsors of What's the Score, Sports Radio America. Go and check out sportsradioamerica.com today and find all the greatest shows that you and your friends should be listening to if you're not already. Listen to the College Credit Hour, Sunday Gridiron, Major League Diamond, Two Up Front, and What's the Score. You can find What's the Score on sportsradioamerica.com and on the TuneIn app by listening to them on Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Sports Radio America, one of the official sponsors of What's the Score. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
If you think you are smart enough, or smarter than a fifth grader, and want to play our games on air, you can either come by the studio or you can call us, but there's a few different ways you can get a hold of us.
If you'd like to email us, you can do so at WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com.
Or for you social media savants, head over to Facebook, What's the Score, the sports news quiz, or Twitter, WTS Sports Quiz. Now back to the action with myself and Josh Scheibe.
Welcome back, everyone. This is What's the Score, the sports news quiz presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. Our Name 5 panelist showdown is coming up, but first we have a new game called Tonight's Promotion Is. Here to get the game going is your host at the BLC studios here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Baxter Colburn.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, everybody. Very interesting show so far, John. You know who you are, John. Yes, John.
Oh,
Game
yeah,
Master
thank you.
John. How are you, sir?
Hi, John.
Game Master Shivey.
Hi, I'm John.
For everybody at home that's wondering, I had literally one sip of wine, and this is what happens to me. I'm done. I'm on the floor.
I thought you were Italian. What are you doing, man?
It's been a hard day. What do you want from me? No, I don't know. Anyway, let's play our final game, Game Master.
Time now to welcome in our final contestant. Playing this game is Andrew Zarin. Welcome to the show, Andrew.
What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome to the show. All right, Andrew, when a baseball team is not playing well, sometimes the organizations decide to come up with special giveaways or promotions to entice fans to come out to their games, even when they really have no desire to do so. In this game, we found some of the craziest promotions that baseball teams have ever done to get fans to sit inside the ballpark for 9 innings, and we may have even came up with a few of our own.
We will read you 5 promotion descriptions, and you must tell us if it's a real promotion or a fake one. Correctly answer 3 out of 5, and you'll win a What's the Score prize. If you get stuck on a question, you can ask one panelist for a hint on only one question, so make sure you use that hint wisely. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, here is your first promotion. George Costanza Night. The Fort Myers Miracle hosted a George Costanza Night where everything was done opposite of the norm, similar to the famous Seinfeld episode. The scoreboard ran from inning 9 to the first. Fans were paid to park, and they changed reserve seating prices for box seats. Even when the team got into the act a little bit with the Miracle wearing road uniforms, the men's and women's restrooms were switched, and finally, after the game, the players asked the fans for autographs. Is that a real promotion, or is it a fake promotion?
I'm going to go real promotion.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right, here is your next promotion.
The second one is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The Nashua Pride played their own version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but a minor league team whose payroll is probably under $1 million couldn't sustain giving that kind of money away. So instead, they played Who Wants to Be a Turkish Millionaire? Fans answered trivia questions in an attempt to win 1 million Turkish lira, which at the time was worth a little over $1.
Is that a real promotion or a fake promotion?
I'm going to go fake promotion.
No, that was a real promotion. All right, here's your...
Great. I love that.
I love that.
People are so clever
I
nowadays.
really are.
It makes me feel stupid.
It's like what are you doing with your life? You can't come up with
nothing.
a promotion
I
like
can't
that?
come up with something genius
Be
like
better,
this.
Grant. Be better. All right, here's your next one, Andrew. Awful Night. Awful Night. The Altoona Curve have found a winner or loser, depending on how you look at it. Awful Night features a bevy of items that are not to be enjoyed. You have music by William Shatner and Milli Vanilli. David Hasselhoff videos will be played around the stadium. Spam sandwiches for all international mispronunciations. Bad costumes, and instead of batting averages, players' failure averages are announced, and there's also a bobbing for onions competition. Is that a real or a fake promotion?
You know, I'd like to be at that promotion, so I'm going to say real promotion.
Well, you would be at the right place. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Bobbing for onions?
I love
I like
baseball.
the failure averages. I love that. That is genius.
I love it. All right, here's your next one, Andrew.
All right.
Silent Night. The Charleston River Dogs decided to hold their very own Silent Night. During the first 5 innings of the game, no talking was allowed. Most fans duct-taped their mouths shut and held up signs to cheer or boo, and even had "Hey, Beer Man" signs. In place of ushers, librarians were used, and golf marshals with "Quiet Please" signs lined the field as well.
Is that a real or a fake promotion?
There's no way. It's got to be a fake promotion.
I wish. No, that was real. Silent Night is real. Oh,
wow.
Goodness. All right, here. This is exciting. We got one more left for you. You've got 2. Let's see if we can make you a winner this week. Pregnancy Night. Pregnancy Night. The Brooklyn Cyclones had bellies and baseball, a salute to Pregnancy Night. Pregnant women threw out the first pitch and were allowed to run the bases. They had Cravings concession stands with anchovies, ice cream, and pickles. They even had Lamaze on the field before the game. One part of the promotion that no one cashed in on, though, was free tickets, but only if a woman gave birth in the ballpark. Is that a real or a fake promotion?
I'm going to go real.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Game Master Shivey, how did Andrew do on our quiz?
Andrew got 3 out of 5 correct. He's a winner!
Nicely done, Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for playing.
And I would just like to point out at the end, Baxter, you skipped a little bit of it.
Did I?
But it's they would receive free tickets for life
if they gave birth in the stadium.
I would tell my wife.
I saw a picture from
you gotta
this
go
promotion,
now.
Too. They had some big ladies there too that were like ready to pop any minute, but I guess it must have been the Cyclones must not have produced
people
enough
like jumping around corners, scaring them.
Yeah.
For whose life, the mothers or the babies?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
This guy thinking ahead. Well,
this is what those smart people I was talking about.
It's Brooklyn, so probably their uncle probably got him or something, not the actual person.
Well, the moment you've all been waiting for is almost here. Stick around and listen to our panelists duke it out on the Name 5 Panelist Showdown coming up right after the break. You're listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, presented by Sports Radio America, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Hello all, I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master here at What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. Thanks for listening in. I may not know much about sports, but what I do know about are our social media pages. Check us out on Facebook at What's the Score, or Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter. Do you enjoy taking a sports news quiz? Well, I understand, of course, you like What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, but we encourage you to go check out one of our other sponsors, thesportsquotient.com. Go and check out the Sports Quotient and play one of their S-quizzes. You can test your sports knowledge about anything doing with sports, and even check out the great articles and content they have on their website as well. Thesportsquotient.com. That's quotient with a Q. Sportsquotient.com, and check out What's the Score on their network of podcasts as well.
Hi everyone, I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
And I'm your host, Baxter Colburn.
Hey, if you think the show is worth at least $1, why don't you go to our Patreon account?
We'd be very grateful if you donate to the show. That's how people like Josh and I stay employed, or pretend to be employed at least. Thank you so much for listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. And now, back to more sports trivia action.
Hope my check's in the mail. Hello and welcome back. Thanks for listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. Woo! I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. Our panelists have been warming up for their final showdown while they scramble to return to their seats. Here's your host of the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Baxter Colburn.
Thanks, Josh. It's been quite the show so far, wouldn't you say?
It has.
Game Master
indeed.
John, whoever you are. You can't get your last name right. I can't get your first name right.
But we both somehow managed to get my dad's name right.
That's all that matters. He finally won, too.
He did.
Hey, we love him. We love it. All right, you know what time it is, Josh?
It's time for the Name 5 Panelist Showdown.
That's when, like, the fireworks go off, there's a flyby.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
the sound of my failure right there.
Game Master Scheibe, how does this crazy contest work?
Our panelists will be given 4 topics in which they will have 10 seconds to name 5 people, teams, places, or things related to the sports world. Each panelist will have the same category. However, they cannot repeat answers. 1 point is awarded for each correct answer.
All right. Can you please give us the scores, Game Master?
I can. Michael has 2 points, Grant has 4, and Daniel also has 4.
Well, now, isn't this interesting? So, Michael, you will be leading us off. Better late than never to the party for the Lions. You got time to make a comeback. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. You're going to be starting us off with naming 5 current NBA players. Okay, 10 seconds on the clock, and begin.
LeBron James, Stephen Curry, DeMarcus Cousins, Klay Thompson, Dwayne Wade.
There you go. He got 5. Nicely done. Nicely done. I'm like, anybody for the Pistons? Yeah, they're irrelevant. All right, Daniel, you are next. 10 seconds, and begin.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jabari Parker, Greg Monroe, Rashard Vaughn, and Johnny O'Brien.
Yes, that is correct.
All
Nicely
Milwaukee
done.
Bucks.
There you go. Look at that. All right, Grant, can you keep the 5 running?
No.
Okay. At least he's honest. And begin.
I got Frank Kaminsky. I got Tim Duncan. I got DeRozan. I got Derrick Rose. I did better than I was good. I thought I was going to get 2.
You got 4. All right.
I did better. I pulled DeRozan and Rose right out of my head. I didn't even know where they came out. I had no idea.
I just decided to go with my strength.
It's kind of like
I don't know why I didn't go Pistons.
I should have gone with Lillard.
It's kind of like last week too with Ken Williams with Eric Weddle. We said secondary players. Like, Weddle.
Why did I go with him?
I love it, but it's Ken Williams. All right, Daniel. Starting off with you now. You're going to be naming 5 NFC teams. Naming 5 NFC teams, and begin.
Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears, and Giants.
There you go. We got 5. Nicely done. Daniel trying to pull early. All right, let's see what we got going on here. In 3 seconds, too, nevertheless. Grant, time for you, sir, and begin.
Got the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Panthers, the 49ers, and the Seahawks.
There you go. We got 5 right in the nick of time. Woo-hoo! It's like if you get the 49ers, you got to go a little bit farther north for the Seahawks. All right, Michael, a couple of teams left there for you. 10 seconds, and begin.
Washington, Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons, Seahawks. Cardinals.
Yes, hey, you got 5. Nicely done. Who did we miss?
Jaguars?
That's AFC.
No, that's
AFC.
We said 15. There are 16. Who did we miss? Now I can't think of who we missed. Atlanta. I'm looking at you like you know. Anyway, sorry.
Come on, not off the top of my head. Sorry.
Just missed it. I don't know. All right, Grant, we'll start with you here going into round number 3. You're going to be naming 5. Doesn't matter if they're retired or current. Retired or current NFL coaches. Retired or current NFL coaches. 10 seconds and begin.
Sherman, McCarthy. Arias or
Yep. I know who you're saying. Okay, he got 3. Bruce Arians is what I'm assuming who you were going for. Yes. Okay, he got 3. Michael, back to you. Are you ready?
I suppose.
Begin.
Caldwell. Jason Garrett.
Yep. Retired or current?
Yeah, I know. Tony Dungy.
There's 3.
Chip Kelly.
Did he get that last one?
He did.
He did. Oh, he got 4. He got Chip Kelly there right at the end. All right. All right, Daniel, last one. Here we go, and begin.
Bill Parcells, Mike Holmgren, Ray Rhodes, Bill Belichick, and Mike Nolan, the former San Francisco Giants coach.
Yes, he got 5. Nicely done. All right, going into the final round, Game Master Scheibe, what are our scores?
Michael and Grant are tied at 16, and Daniel's in the lead with 19.
Interesting. Well, Michael, you'd need a miracle at this point. We'll see. So for this last round, we're going to be naming 5 sports movies. For those of you that have been on the show before, you know we don't do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of a movie. It's just name the series and move on. Okay?
Okay.
So we'll start with you, Michael, then we'll go to Grant, then we will go to Daniel. All right?
Yep.
Michael, and begin.
Miracle on Ice, Remember the Titans, The Blind Side, Hoosiers, 42.
Yes, you got all 5. Nicely done. All right, what does Grant need to do things?
Grant needs 5 to tie.
5 to tie. All right, let's see what you got here, Grant. And begin.
Slapshot, Sandlot, Angels in the Outfield, Rocky, and I can't think of another one.
Oh, all right. Okay, no big deal. So, what is Mr. Schoettler looking at for a possible victory?
1 to tie, or excuse me, 2 to tie and 3 to win.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
And begin.
Mr. 3000, The Replacements, 1001, The Corey Weisman Story, Field of Dreams, and Major League.
There you go. He got all 5. Nicely done. Nicely done, Daniel. Game Master Scheibe, what are our final scores this week?
The final scores are Grant with 20, Michael with 21, and Daniel with 24.
Hey. Congratulations, Daniel. Congratulations on your first victory. How does it feel to be a victor finally?
Good. I mean, going in the name 5, I'm like, I got to write my answers down and kind of.
This is what people have been doing in the past.
That was way easier. That was way easier writing them down. I was like, that's such a smart idea.
Yeah,
that makes
I think Doug Russell started it. He did it a couple shows ago, and he just wrote them all down, and I think he got a perfect score, I think, as well by doing it.
Yeah.
So We didn't say you can't do it. We might outlaw it one of these days if we feel like it's
getting a little too easy.
I still suck at it. I still suck at this.
I did name one of my more recent favorite sports movies.
Which one was that?
1001, the Corey Weisman story.
I don't think I've
it's
ever
the
seen that, no.
A basketball player at Gettysburg College who had the stroke.
It sounds vague.
It's on Netflix.
It sounds vague.
It's a good,
if it's on Netflix,
movie.
I'm going to have to check it out.
It's a good movie. And
Right.
Mr. 3000 is...
I've seen that one.
Here's a good trivia question about that
Okay.
related to Whitewater.
Okay.
All right. What current UW Whitewater baseball coach John Volinich has a small part in that movie?
Does he? Okay. I did not know that.
As for what team?
I have no idea. I've never seen the movie, so
He's a
couldn't help
catcher with the Astros, and he has close-ups. I have my DVD copy of the movie I've signed by our baseball coach at Whitewater.
I love it. Very nice. Michael, no victory for you this week. You only you come away with 2 points, so you still move up the panelist leaderboard a little bit, so not terrible.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
I mean, I could be the Lions.
You could be in last. You could be the Lions, or you could be in last. Not terrible. What about you, Grant? You're a little quiet over there.
Done.
You're done?
I quit.
No more?
Hey, you know what? No,
He's moving to Perth.
I'm moving to Perth. I quit. No,
Make up your mind.
I'm not. I'm keeping my coffee mug.
Yeah, dual citizenship. Dual citizenship.
There you go. No, but the Blues right now are leading 3-1. That's why I need to get third place because they have 3 goals. So that's why.
So it's their fault.
No, I felt like I owed it to them
By getting third place?
Yeah, for the Stanley Cup. You do what you got to do.
I scored more points than the Brewers today.
That's true.
That's
You did.
So far.
It's not hard to
Hey,
do.
they're making a run for your money, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. All right, well, What's the Score has been a production of Sports Radio America. Thank you to all of our contestants and studio audience here at the BLC studios. Our panelists this week have been the mayor of Perth, Grant Coppersmith, the Detroit Lions lover of all things, Michael Cyr, and our new champion this week, Daniel Schoettler. Our social media staff is comprised of Emily Reister and Brittany Peterson and Christian Gill. Our theme was composed by Danny Hoffenstein. Our media producer is Eric Condia. Our sound engineer and show producer is Kurt Colburn. And the executive director of What's the Score is my wife, Liz Colburn.
I've been your game master, Josh Shivey.
And I've been your host, Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you all next week on What's the Score.